guys, and welcome to Hack Your Health. I'm Erica, and today I'm going to do a video about the supplements that I still take as a person with a history of autoimmune diseases. So obviously there was a period of time where I was in a more intense healing stage several years ago, where I maintained a very strict diet that was the specific carbohydrate diet, as well as doing yoga and other practices, and I have other videos on my channel about those. But today I thought I'd just tell you what the supplements are that I still take years later, because they are anti-inflammatory, and I'll just let you know the reasons as I go through them. So the first one is fish oil. So that's the French side. So I took fish oil while I was on the specific carbohydrate diet as well, because I had a lot of soreness and inflexibility in my joints. And basically when there's a lot of inflammation coming from your digestive system, or maybe somewhere else, but largely your digestive system, it can get stored in your joints when it's created in too large of an amount for your liver to process and excrete from the body. So that's why if you have a lot of inflammation, you can start to feel it in your joints. And fish oil is really good for your joints. It's also good for just reducing inflammation in general, because one factor in our modern diets is that even food that was traditionally or usually high in omega-3, such as eggs, for example, when they're grown in a sort of factory farm setting, I'm talking about eggs, they become really high in omega-6. So we get more omega-6 than omega-3. They're supposed to be in a certain ratio, and in our modern diet, that ratio is skewed because a lot of the foods that we eat contain more omega-6 than they should. And so by taking omega-3, you can start to balance those two off. And basically omega-6 is a more inflammatory source of fat. It's not bad for you, but if you get too much of it in relationship to omega-3, it has more of an inflammatory effect on the body. So you can kind of balance that out by taking an omega-3 supplement, and that's a more anti-inflammatory source of fat. It's also good for healing. It can help with healing ulcers in the case of Crohn's, and it's also very good for mood regulation. So people that have been taking an omega-3 supplement or have a diet higher in omega-3 have a reduced risk of having mood imbalances. So basically by taking omega-3, you can help yourself regulate your mood. It's also good for helping your memory as you move into old age. And the reason for that effect is thought to be that it's a building block in the brain. So the gray matter, the synapses, the nerve endings, those really important mechanisms in the brain are largely made up of omega-3. So in order for your brain to function in a healthy way, which does affect your mood apparently, as well as your memory and other important things, you need to get enough omega-3. So I like to look at both the physical and the emotional or mental healing of diseases, and I find that fish oil is one that has a clear benefit physically in terms of being anti-inflammatory, as well as emotionally in the sense that it helps regulate and improve mood. So that is why I continue to take fish oil, because it's generally an all-around helpful thing for the body, and especially the mood and the joints, which are both very important to me. So the next one, or I'll do vitamin D next. So if you take cod liver oil, it contains vitamin D, but if you're just taking regular fish oil, which this is, and by the way, choose one that says it's tested for mercury and PCBs, some kind of plastic, because some kinds of fish oil contain higher levels of those. And another great thing to look for is smaller fish. Things like mackerel or sardines or things that are smaller, lower on the food chain are gonna be relatively less exposed to mercury and other things because they build up as they move up the food chain. That's why tuna, which eats other fish, is so high in mercury. So smaller fish are less likely to contain those kinds of heavy metals and toxins. So I would just look for that on the label. And so next is vitamin D. So this is vitamin D3. Each drop is 1,000 international units I use, and that is kind of the minimum recommended amount. So you could even take more than one drop. And the reason why I take vitamin D is, again, it's really good for regulating mood, and it's necessary for the absorption of calcium. And calcium is extremely important for every process in your body, basically. So it's very important to get enough of it, and you can't absorb it unless you have enough vitamin D. So it covers those, as well as, well, I live in Canada, so it's dark a lot in the winter, so I know that I'm likely to be deficient in vitamin D in the winter months especially. And if you live in a southern climate, you may not need to take it. But if you wear sunscreen or don't get a lot of sun exposure because you're indoors, then you could still be deficient. So basically, when I was doing a lot of research about autoimmune diseases, MS, Crohn's, you name it, one thing that comes up again and again and again is that these people are deficient in vitamin D. There's a very, very strong correlation between autoimmune diseases and vitamin D deficiency. So nobody has directly proved that being vitamin D deficient causes autoimmune diseases that I am aware of, but the correlation is definitely strong. So what one hypothesis could be that having an autoimmune disease makes you deficient in vitamin D. Okay, I suppose that's possible, but it's also possible that having a vitamin D deficiency will increase your susceptibility. So I think that it's just a wise choice, considering that it is good for your mood and considering that it is good for absorbing calcium and considering this very strong correlation. It's a responsible choice as a person with a history of autoimmune diseases to just take vitamin D. That's how I feel about it, and that's why I still take it. It's not expensive. I mean, this was, I think, $13, and this will last me probably at least all winter. It lasts a really long time. So yeah, that's why I take vitamin D, and that's why I would recommend it to others. But of course, all of this is just personal kind of choices, and it's not replacing medical advice. So definitely go talk to your doctor about any of these, and maybe they'll have suggestions on the dosage that's right for you, anything else that you could be taking, stuff like that. So another one that I take is vitamin C. So this is crystals, just gets mixed in with water, and vitamin C is an antioxidant. So basically there's oxidation that occurs in your body due to stress or toxins or whatever, and basically when there's oxidation, and this is not the most technical explanation, but it basically breaks down cells and then they need to be repaired. So basically oxidation does damage to your cells, which is not what you want. So by taking an antioxidant, basically it prevents that oxidation from destroying your cells. So it basically protects your cells from damage is what that does. So that obviously will lead to reduced inflammation, and depending on the kind of cells that are no longer being damaged can be shown to have different effects on the body, such as reduced risk of heart disease and stuff like that. So basically this is just another one that I take because it's anti-inflammatory and basically has a protective effect on the body, boosts the immune system, And I also noticed that vitamin C really helps me get better sleep. So I had a feeling that that was the case, and then when I looked it up, it's shown that in studies that people that don't have enough vitamin C or a low level in their bloodstream have only 5 to 6 hours of sleep per night on average, whereas people with higher levels of vitamin C slept longer, like 7 to 8 hours. So I find it really helpful for a restful sleep to take vitamin C, along with the other overall health benefits that it has. So I also still take probiotics. This is just acidophilus and bifidus bacterias. I'm fairly certain that those are the kinds that are found in yogurt. And these were just what they recommended to me at the health food store. And basically look for something that's guaranteed until its date of expiration, in order to make sure that you're getting a good quality probiotic and not one that's like already half dead when you bought it kind of thing. I just take those because I want to make sure that my gut flora is maintained at a healthy level to prevent any further problems in the future. So, I mean, I just take them basically to maintain my health. And then one more that I thought I would mention is oregano oil. So there's different brands, of course, but wild oregano oil. And I don't take that every day, but I do use it when I feel like I'm getting a cold, or when I've been exposed to a cold, or you can take it for when you're traveling to kind of prevent traveler's diarrhea. So basically, I use it when my immune system could use a boost. When I had a fistula, I often used it in place of antibiotics when it wasn't really severe, but when I could feel that it was getting more, inflamed. And I did find that it was helpful. And the reason I would recommend it is because, for one thing, you don't need a prescription. It's very easy. You just take a couple drops of it, and it helps kind of attack what your immune system is also attacking, like viruses, bacteria, and stuff like that. It kills them, but it doesn't have the same damaging effect on your digestive system that antibiotics that you get from the pharmacist have. So basically it doesn't disrupt your microflora. So I would recommend having that around in cases of like increased stress or increased exposure to invaders. So yeah, those are the supplements that I continue to take. You can probably see that they're ones that are basically used for a very wide variety of bodily functions, as well as being anti-inflammatory. And basically I continue to take them to just maintain good health and to prevent future problems, to maintain my memory in old age and all those good things. And yeah, that's been working well for me so far, and I just thought I would share that with you in case it was helpful for anyone. Yeah, so let me know if you have any questions or comments or suggestions, and thank you so much for watching, and best of luck on your healing journey. Okay, bye.